Yes, this is a bad time to let you guys know that I have COVID.
Wait, part 3 or part 4?
What?
Part 4.
Because you've told us
My
you've
bad.
had COVID multiple times.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am the
creating COVID.
Yeah. So I mean, like I can get it whenever I want because I have it, and I have it in my fridge.
He's got COVID in his fridge.
What does it taste like?
The original. It's like a steroid. I just inject it into my ass.
Is that why?
Alright, that should be.
Is that why they call you Mr. Smokey?
Yeah, that's why they call me Mr. Smoky Sweet. Speaking of Mr. Smoky Sweet, these guys over here, they're so first things first, I want to address something. We're in a different spot. We've been in a different spot every single episode.
We're also all wearing hats.
We're also all wearing hats, dude. Hat gang.
I always wear hats, though.
Hat gang. And we have no topics today. We have zero topics.
Well, we have topics from last week that we never used.
Yeah, but it's kind of...
It's not the same.
Yeah, so
We got no topics, bro. We got no
We're just going to fly from the seat of our pants today. Barth is back with us.
Everybody clap.
Everybody clap. Golf clap.
Barth, what were you doing last time?
What was I doing?
Barth is
He was getting
fit.
swole, dude.
He's getting fit.
Oh yeah, I was at the gym.
Yeah, we told everybody about it.
Yeah, we said.
You guys already know I was at the gym.
We told them how you were choosing your fitness, your health above the podcast.
We thought that was bullshit.
And that's why you were late for work.
Yeah, therefore it's okay.
Yes, therefore it's okay.
You were late for work. This is your job now.
Wait, but the thing is, I wasn't really late. I just
didn't show up.
That's the same thing.
Well, but you're late until we realize that you're just not showing up. So you were late until the podcast was over, and we're like, oh, he's not coming.
Barth no call, no show.
So Barth is pretty much fired.
Yeah. So Barth's off the podcast.
So welcome, Barth. Also, goodbye, Barth.
Yep, goodbye.
You guys will not be seeing Barth next week or any of the other weeks.
He's out of here. But no, so this is the new studio. This is the new place. Now, boy's moving, busy boy, and I forgot to grab some stuff. So cause I'm basically a giant piece of shit. So we're using one camera, we're using one mic, because that's just what I do. The mic is right there, and we're using one ring mic, yeah. But I use that for my OnlyFans.
Oh.
Wait, what's your username?
Joey Any.
What do you post on there?
Solo videos. We already went over this.
Yeah.
I do solo videos,
so
and then right when I'm about to finish, I rickroll them.
Like you singing Rickroll or
No. I'm just like,
you playing Rickroll?
I'm gonna, never gonna give you up. Yeah. It's crazy.
I kind of wish it was you though. I like not the video of Rickroll,
you
but
made your own version
like you're
of it.
doing
That'd be
that, but like they never actually see you and you're doing this, and then when it comes around to
It's
you and you
just
start
my
singing
face.
it, no, you have like a shaker or something, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
Never gonna give you up. That's so funny. Oh my god. And
Or
I
you
start
playing
singing.
the guitar, yeah.
Yeah, I start singing. That's hilarious. I love that shit, man. But yeah, this is episode 4?
Yeah.
Episode 4.
Yep.
Welcome to the Late for Work podcast, the best podcast on the planet. Only facts from us. We're your number one news source.
Yeah.
And nude source.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're trying to be that.
Nude naked pictures every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the Late for Work Instagram. And on my...
That's a lot of content to keep up.
Listen, man, it's easy though, you know? All I do is set up the camera and I just rock. I rock with it. Listen, dude, I lean with it and I rock with it, dude. Because daddy busy boy, dude. And that's when I say busy boy, I mean we make content king over here.
Yeah. And currently your life's just like in disarray.
I'm a total fucking mess. Yeah.
The whole moving process.
It's been. It wasn't a crazy moving process.
Wow, it was fairly easy. It was a little easier.
You don't have a lot of shit.
I don't have a lot of shit, and that's why it was okay that you didn't come. You know, like I mean, listen, dude.
Yeah, he had lessons. He had lessons.
Whoa, dude. That did not sound like it was okay that I didn't show up.
No.
It wasn't.
I'm sorry.
I get
sorry.
It, dude. I get it, dude. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely since this is the Late for Work podcast, we do have you have a certain amount of infractions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's worth one.
I have 2 infractions.
Bart has 2.
No, you already had 3, bro.
Yeah.
You already had 3.
Those,
You've had 3?
You have one.
What else did you do?
Doesn't matter, bro. No show. It's two. It's two on. It's two right there.
I remember Barth saying that he wasn't available beforehand. I think that's just one infraction.
Oh.
Yeah, you're still good, Barth.
Oh, cool.
You're not fired.
But it's like,
Brian's
no.
a pushover.
I'm the HR of the podcast.
He's the
Brian, what did you chill, bud?
Listen, I'm the HR, and I did not approve this, so you're back.
Anyways,
You're
thank God.
moving, dude. You're moving.
Moving, dude. Yeah, and it was a pretty easy process, actually, really, because I'm throwing away half my shit.
Because half your shit was literal shit.
It was
Are you out of your old apartment completely?
no, dude.
No. Okay. Let's fucking talk about this. This is actually fucking hilarious. So we helped Joe. We filled up like one fucking U-Haul.
Yeah.
And as we're like, all right, man. Like you have the 3 or 4 people here. And we're like in his old apartment. There's
you wanna
just
get rid of it?
well, dude, there's just a bunch of shit still in there. A bunch of shit. Like
Is it mostly marks or is it shit?
no way.
It's
can that
not-
just
it's
be
not
all
either
marks.
of
It was like drawers and like.
No, it was like weights. It was like there was like
What do
two
you mean?
other
Wait,
couches.
what do you mean it's not either of yours?
Well, so we
So this is where the actual literal shit part comes
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
So when we moved in, our friends Colin and Corbin had moved out, and so they just left all their shit there. So
So it was like hand me
Wow.
that
down.
shit, yeah.
Now I don't even want to say gently used because like
It's obviously not gently used.
yeah they left it. It was it's shit. You know? It's that-
We've been there for a decade, all damn near.
Well, wasn't it
So
like
surprised.
their first apartment, right? So
yeah.
You're like in college, a freshman or sophomore. I'm sure they were just destroying their furniture in their apartment.
Basically.
I slept on that shit recently and I
Yeah.
still don't feel clean.
Oh, dude, listen.
Okay, so it's still at your house.
Yeah, dude.
I
When
got a lot of shit still there.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do with it?
No, we're gonna have a junk guy come and get all the stuff and throw it away.
Oh, how much is that gonna cost?
Probably not that much. I think it's like.
Ryan needs to know all the expenses, man.
He's HR.
Yeah. Now I'm using the late for a credit card.
Yeah, you could sell that shit, dude. If it's,
Oh, no.
if it's good.
No one's gonna be buying that.
Yeah,
No one's gonna be buying that.
It's the cum couch, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Ryan, are you in the market?
Nope. I've got a couch, dude, and
You're like it's fairly clean.
What if I
There's
signed it?
no
though?
cum on it, dude. There's zero.
What if I signed the couch though?
Oh.
In what though?
Income.
Obviously.
Duh.
Oh.
Dude,
I don't think that. I don't
let's
think
move on.
anyone
Let's move
wants
on
that.
from the cum couch.
dude, but speaking, dude, that's a good name.
I thought it was just the casting couch for you.
No, dude, no, it's the.
That's the other couch. That's the smaller one that
Yeah.
you've seen us on in
Before.
previous podcasts.
Oh wait,
That's
there's
casting.
another couch.
yeah,
Oh, there's
that
the
big
one.
ass one.
The futon.
All right,
Bro, there's
so
so
when
much
are they
shit.
coming? When are they coming to get your shit?
We got a month, dude. I don't fucking know.
Oh
yet.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
pay
didn't know
double
that.
rent because Daddy makes money now, dude.
That Luther got paid.
Yeah, but Daddy, when are you gonna pay our rent?
Oh, dude, soon.
I know, you used to be paying all these girls rents, bro.
What about your
Oh,
boys?
yeah, our
Like-
boys.
Boys.
I'm accepting.
They paid.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. Yeah.
Only
so,
Joey's girls are.
You're getting
Yeah.
paid in high cheese, dude.
So we make a lot. So we make a lot of money off of ads, and you haven't seen any
Off
of
of
it.
ads or
Yeah.
abs?
Both. Speaking of it, our sponsor, Truly.
Just lift up our shirts.
Yeah. We have like tattoos. Dude, that would be a good sponsorship idea though. Listen, we will get your product tattooed.
No,
on.
dude, that was like the early 2000s, like .com boom shit, dude. Like, do you remember that when people would get like tattoos of like stupid shit like on their face? And they would pay all of these people like $5,000, but to have the tattoo on your face for fucking
$5,000's too little.
That's obviously,
Yeah.
obviously,
No
fucking,
amount of money
like,
is
no
that
amount,
much.
yeah, to get a fucking someone's website tattooed on
I-
your fucking face.
I would do it for NM.
For what?
For if you paid me $1 million,
But what company?
I'll get a company.
Any company?
Yeah.
$1 million?
Yeah.
All right, we're now accepting.
We're
bids
now
for
creating a
this.
GoFundMe for
Accepting
Joe to
bids.
get whatever tattoo you want to be written on his forehead on his forehead.
What company will pay this?
And if you paid me $2 million,
No, we're doing a grassroots fundraiser, okay? We're speaking to the people who want to see this on Joey's forehead.
So wait, are we getting a company then, or are we getting this
Fuck the
person's
company,
name? Are we
fuck
this person's
corporations,
name?
alright?
Fuck capitalism.
Fuck capitalism. It's all about the grassroots. You are gonna help get a tattoo on.
Yeah.
this forehead.
I don't know about do my forehead.
Dude, he's got a lot of space, you know, because he like shaves
You have a
his
lot
head.
of real estate. up
Yeah,
there.
a lot of real estate. More real estate than us.
You
You
can fill this
know?
whole baby up, dude.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine if you guys just walked into the pod one day and just had like a full fucking like head tat?
Joe, I feel like because you are short on hair, you could
Say
get
it, I'm
some.
bald. Say it.
You're balding, dude. I don't think you're completely bald,
Alright.
actually.
But it's been getting bigger as time goes on. So like, cause I let my shit grow out a little bit too long, and I could see just like
You
like,
could also do the Friar Tuck move, dude, and have that be like your persona.
Who the fuck is
personality.
Friar Tuck?
What?
Yeah. What?
Robin Hood, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you.
Joe, you ever thought about like, you know, getting that hairstyle? You know that some people when they're bald, like they just like let their top be bald and they just have like the hair that's like, around the edges, around the edges. You ever
Or
thought
this,
about that?
Yes, I love
Woo!
Friar Tuck.
Yeah, that's the look. That's the look.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's the move.
Can you imagine?
Just an idea.
Can you imagine if I went on a date and I just had like, I was like, hey, what's up?
You like took off your hat and they was like, what the fuck is that?
That was the
old are
last
you?
day that Joe ever went on.
Yeah.
Wait, Joe, would you ever get hair implants? But what if it was like really sick, dude?
I would take stem cells or steroids.
Yeah.
Would they inject the stem cells right on top of your head?
Probably, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. that's
Eject
how
it.
Is that how this works?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. No, but I've been doing some steroid research. Not that I'm gonna do them, but I've been doing some research, right? And finasteride is a steroid that the only thing it does is stimulate your hair growth.
Yeah.
But it's like an actual steroid though.
Like,
It's actually
just
it's
to,
Like, so that's all. Yeah, so. So have you guys ever seen those like before and after pictures of like either like LeBron James or like Elon Musk? Before that, they got like really rich and like their hair was like definitely not what it looks like now. They have a shit ton of money. You ever wonder like how did they get their hair back from
Are
like?
you sure that's true, or are
I
you sure
swear.
that's not like
I swear. You ever seen
a
there's-
picture that's been fucked with?
No, there's
Well, dude-
definitely a picture of Elon Musk of him looking like cracked out in front of a fucking computer. Like, it's like he pulled out like half of his hair or something.
Dude, it could be that, or it could be implants. Holy shit, dude.
Bart just gave me like 6.
Barth, what are you doing?
It's
dude?
3, 1, 3.
I'm good. I got one.
It's the birthday pot all over again.
That's so funny.
No, dude. Well, because money buys happiness.
And
I
hair.
don't know if it buys happiness, but
And
it definitely buys hair.
It buys a lot of things.
Which if you have that hair and you feel more confident with it,
That's a form of happiness.
that's happiness. So yeah, it does buy happiness.
Speaking of that, I've been in contact with Jeff Bezos, and
Wait, what?
Yeah, he wants to sponsor the pod.
Does he want to?
I
Does
will
he
not
want?
accept
Does
it.
he want a hair sponsorship too?
Oh, talking about Jeff Bezos and stuff. So I had this $100 Amazon gift card.
Yeah.
I have literally no idea what to. Do you guys ever have the problem of like you have money,
Yeah, I have too much money. Yeah.
but then then
You are a rapper, Joe. That,
Or-
that makes
yeah,
sense
yeah.
to talk about that.
yeah, or
You
you
need
have
to write a song about like where your money comes from.
Right.
That would be sick. That would be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I've been talking a little bit about it lately. Yeah, I have some next week's a giant studio week, so I think I'm gonna try to finish the rap EP.
Speaking of which, whatever, I guess we're on the podcast, but we should get together and finish or work on that tune that we worked on.
Oh,
with Ivy.
super down. Yeah,
Yeah.
super down.
Yeah, dude, what the hell? You missed it, dude.
Yeah,
what were you doing the other night,
That's
dude?
just
He's
like-
getting swole again.
Every Wednesday, you're getting swole.
No, well,
I see how it is. You care about your health.
Well, wait. I thought so. It was. We had the options of Wednesdays or Saturdays, right?
Yeah.
I said I'm free Saturdays. Didn't hear anything afterwards. So I was like, oh, it's Saturday.
I could've been sad.
And then
Yeah.
and then Thursday came up, and I just saw on everybody's stories, whoa, studio session, and I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Did I like?
Well, I think originally the plan was to do Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah,
And I was just like, well, I still want to meet up on Wednesday night, and I think it worked for everybody else.
and I just
but-
couldn't meet up on Saturday.
Yeah, so we made a beef track against you, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, what is
just
there to like about me?
Oh my god. Bars? No, you're.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said it, man.
Right.
You're such a kind individual. You know.
Yeah, I'm the best.
and fuck being nice.
Around.
There you go. I like this.
You like this
Confidence,
energy,
dude.
you like this
I like
energy.
this.
I mean,
Keep going.
Who else are you guys gonna go to for keys?
That's
Oh, okay, yeah.
Barth makes a good point.
Yeah.
Or
The High Chew Connect.
yeah,
Come on, dude. Confidence.
or the badass body I have.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Barth's
Damn, dude.
No, that's all I have. Those are my own.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
That was good. We'll work on that. We'll work on that.
So I just saw a headline on Twitter that said, feeling unsettled, anxious, question mark. Maybe you have COVID-19 COVID-19 vaccine envy. Now,
What?
What?
people are getting crazy about this shit though. Like, some people get upset that people are like, "Oh, you're vaccine." Blah, blah, blah. I just have to stay inside. Well, you don't have to stay inside. Just be careful. Just be smart.
I think, just live your life. Live your life however you think is safest, and also think about people around you. But there are people that are immunocompromised that probably can't do the same things that we can do, and that sucks.
But wouldn't they have the vaccine? I don't know. Wouldn't they have the vaccine?
Yes. Ideally, by now they would have the vaccine.
I
Yeah.
think they just talk about like regular people. You know.
Fuck them.
Which, you're right. Well, no, dude, like if you're 24 and in good shape, and like you're just like I have to, it's like well, yeah, you're just.
It would be. I would like to be vaccinated. I have a lot of friends that
I'm on the
are
list.
vaccinated.
I'm on the list.
I'm looking often.
I think we're gonna be able to do it after April 15th.
Well, we all teach kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Shouldn't we fucking be able to get it right now?
Yeah, every time
I also I have the opportunity to. I've always been hesitant because I did have like an autoimmune disease in my history.
yeah.
So and there's been rumors that it might like
affect
that. So I'm like a little bit hesitant, but I want to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, you should get it, dude.
I mean,
Do it.
I feel like basically
Nothing to fear about the
Believe
vaccine,
in
dude.
science.
Unless I get
Crazy
anemia
face.
again.
Shit.
I saw this
Wait,
one.
sorry, Joe. So they're saying that the vaccine might
There's
affect
a
your
pop-
anemia?
I don't know. I don't have all of the information,
Yeah.
so don't quote me on this.
No, it's
but-
facts.
Barthen's reading some crazy
No.
Facebook shit.
He's on
But
QAnon.
there's been like it's possible that the vaccine might if you had an autoimmune disease prior or currently, it might I've heard that it might like cause it to act back up.
Which vaccine? Because there's a couple.
Uh,
They all affect the same way?
I think it was the Pfizer and the Moderna.
Not
I don't know about the Johnson
not
Johnson.
Not the J&J.
I don't know
Because
about
the
Johnson
J&J is just one
One
shot,
shot.
right?
I don't know if that necessarily has anything to do with.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
crazy, dude.
That's crazy.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, like we're almost back to doing shows. I mean, you had a couple shows this weekend.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Oh, it was great, dude. It was
Dude,
amazing.
How did it feel to play like across the street from the actual venue that you were kind of playing?
Yeah, so for everyone that doesn't know, I play in a couple bands. I play in this band called Sunday Candy. It's like an R&B group.
He's a
for
drum
like
slut.
indie R&B group, for lack of a better word. And we played across the street from the MCA, which is this Museum of Contemporary Art. And they put us in a literal parking garage.
Across the street.
Across the street for COVID reasons.
The most
But people are
socially
still playing
distant.
shows there though.
Well,
Or is it
I'm not talking shit. What I'm saying is it's just like super random, right? So we're in this parking garage and they're filming it, and Mighty Fine comes through and records it. Sounds great and it looks great, but we're in a fucking parking garage.
Like across
One of
the
the people that like the marketing individual emailed us for an interview, and some of the questions were like, "Have you ever played in a garage before? What do you think about playing in a garage?" And I was like, all the other questions were really detailed, and I was just like, "You guys are really pushing this garage thing, aren't you?"
He gets to the gig, you're like, what the fuck, man?
It's like, oh, I get it now.
But yeah, then the night before I played at Larimer, and it was sick, dude. It was good to see people. Everybody was
So
the
at
tables
Larimer-
and COVID safe. And,
So yeah, they actually put tables like in their
And-
main room or whatever.
and they had the performers like 25 feet away from the nearest person, so
Dang.
Everyone still had to wear masks, including Ben, who was singing, and he was pretty annoyed about that, which I understand because, to be fair, it did sound like muffled, you know.
I don't wear a mask at my church when I sing that.
Well, and
that's the church, man. They don't care about masks in the
venues.
church.
I mean, yeah, the church can do whatever it wants, apparently, dude.
They-
Not the church, but like religion in general.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna go into that.
Save that for a different
Playing
podcast.
live music was awesome. It was great to do it again, and I think summer's gonna be good, dude. I think it's gonna open up even more as people get vaccinated.
I think so too.
On the note of vaccination, with how do you think live shows are gonna? Do you think that it's gonna be like only people who are vaccinated can go?
I hope not.
I think maybe either what they'll do is they won't do that. They'll just be checking temperatures and stuff, or if you present it to them, maybe you can go into the pit, like the very center of the stage. Everybody else has to be certain sectioned off.
So let me,
like a VIP section.
Or for like bigger shows,
So-
like a festival or something.
right. Well, let me ask you this.
Yes, definitely that.
So you guys have seen videos or photos, right, of how, you know, in some of these other like Asian countries where it didn't pop off as hard, or like they controlled it better, like they're actually getting back to some, you know,
Like festivals.
Yeah,
Like
actually like pre-COVID concerts, like where people are like all, you know, packed in.
masks,
Like when
yeah.
do you realistically think that might happen in the U.S.?
2022.
Because the U.S. doesn't seem to be like anywhere near.
There has to be some percentage of the population to allow that, right?
Mhm.
You know, like it probably has to be really high, like 90% or something.
Right.
But I mean, numbers are pretty much dropping. We still have COVID cases, of course, but I think numbers are dropping everywhere. So I feel like we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully everything goes as planned and everybody gets vaccinated and the world returns to normal.
Yeah.
Sense of normal.
I have a feeling that like this is only the beginning, dude, right? You think about all the, not to get heady, but like all of the things that have been trapped in the ice,
Oh yeah.
right, in the Arctic Circle, like old fucking diseases, dude. Old diseases that are to come out that may do the same thing. It just showed us how unprepared we were.
Which hopefully that changes now that we got. When
Well,
also
new
like,
administration will help that,
Yeah, that'll help,
hopefully.
yeah.
But yeah,
But going beyond administrations, like
just a
it
world.
needs to be like a collective world thing, and I don't think the world's ready for that shit. Like the world, like
Hopefully after
still,
this
like-
they will be. They'll take it seriously.
well, we have a new way to make vaccines now, which is fast. So one would think we would be preemptive to start trying to figure out these new viruses and shit.
yeah, but also like with the age of social media and the age of disinformation, there's gonna be just like people who are
Yeah.
just like against X, Y, Z, this or that, and I find it a little like hard to believe that everyone get on the same fucking page
Yeah, that's gonna be
when
tough.
there's so much bullshit.
I don't
All the
think
time.
that will ever happen.
Well,
the only way that would
obviously.
happen is if like the world was threat of extinction, right? So like if the virus was so bad that like literally we had
Well,
50% of the population die from it or
Well,
something.
right.
well, this brings up my new plan. I'm starting the new world order. And it's so no yeah so the NNWO starts with a one world currency. Listen to me.
I'm listening to you.
So the NNWO starts with one world currency. That's why I created Bitcoin. I am Satoshi. That's me.
Yeah.
And I know it's the breaking news. I actually have 100 Bitcoin.
That's all you have?
That's it. If you're the creator, that's all you have.
Well, I didn't want to put myself ahead of everybody else. I wanted it to be a fair race.
I think people already beat you.
That's fine.
They got more than me.
Well, I mean, like, listen, I have that.
Hey, where's Craig? I want Craig to tell us about
Yeah,
it.
Craig.
Craig,
Shout
tell us about the Bitcoin.
Shout out, Craig, dude. Yeah, where's Craig? Tell us about the BC, dude. About the BC. That wasn't a stuff. That was on purpose.
That was intentional.
That BC.
The BC. Yeah, dude. Now, what does BC mean?
What do you?
Before Christ.
It also means.
Before cheese.
It also means.
Before Christ, dude.
It also means Bitcoin, dude.
Oh.
And it's so I mean, like, am I trying?
I like before cheese better. Dude.
I had something completely different than that after. It wasn't.
What was your next one?
Yeah, what were
Mark?
we gonna say?
Black cock.
Yeah.
All right, move on, dude.
No,
That's a hard. That's just a hard.
That's
no.
a hard no.
Yeah,
We're
that's,
on the
that's
same-
a hard. That's a hard no.
I don't know, dude.
So Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
A Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it BBC? It's not just BC.
I mean,
no, that's big. Black cock.
Barth, you are so good at acronyms, dude. I'm so impressed. The acronym.
It's one of my talents. Many hidden talents.
One of few talents, dude.
The acronym name.
One of
is-
3 actually.
Yeah. Holy shit. No, dude, yeah. So we had so I'm taking over the world. That's why we're making late for work because yeah.
You're actually
Are you
late
recruiting
to
us?
the new
Yeah.
duo.
Yeah.
We've already been recruited.
This is the end of the
We're already in a cult, actually.
Actually, I would like to bring up a topic. This is gonna be a really good topic here.
I would be
have
okay
some-
being in a cult if I was like the leader. I'd be okay.
What
happens if you're the puppet
Dude,
leader?
you
What
could
if
start your own
you know
cult.
that?
You could be the leader of any cult you want. You just have to start it, man.
That's true.
That's true. Everybody can create their own cult.
Exactly, man.
We can all be
Alright.
cool. No, so I want to bring up a topic here. I have some really strong opinions about this. This is gonna be a really good thing.
Okay.
So I want to talk about the Denver music scene, and I want to preface this by saying, right, these are my own ideas. I'm
The
not
moment
talking
you
about.
have to preface it.
I just want to say, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm talking about the entire scene as a whole, and
that
kind
you
of.
perceive it as.
Yes, so I could be completely off on this. I want to be very clear. These are just my thoughts and my thoughts alone.
The whole music. scene.
The entire music scene, yes. Compared to a place like LA. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is only my thoughts. This is only my thing, just so everybody knows. Because this has got me in trouble before, so I just want to preface this. This is how.
Okay.
This is
Joe's
how I
always
perceive
getting himself
this.
into motherfucking
Yeah.
trouble.
So here's my thing, okay? So let's look at somewhere like LA. Okay?
Okay.
So I think the Denver has a really interesting thing. I think we have a music scene, not a music industry. We don't have a lot of industry
We
here.
have an industry. It's the live industry.
That's all we have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's how you make somewhere a music superpower. You have to have both. Right? So now check this out, right? So what was I gonna say? God
Well, we
damn.
do also have like, it's a part of the live scene, but we have a gigging scene as well. Like, there's a lot of musicians
Yes.
that, maybe they do
Yeah,
put out
are
music,
those
but
different?
more than anything else, they just gig, right? With one
Which I think is fine. So
I think they're the same thing.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like,
it's a part
yeah.
of the umbrella of
Yeah.
live music.
So we have those two parts, right? Now let's look at the electronic music scene in Denver, right? There's an industry there. There's a lot of money there. People go to those shows. They have a culture around that music genre, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at guys like Denver's Dom. Shout out Dom and Amplitude. They throw these giant shows. It's really, really great. They're the ones who did the big drive-in shows in Denver, which my roommate Mark played. Mport, shout Mport. He played. And that's really, really cool, right? But there's an industry there. There's money that goes into that. And I feel like what other genres in Denver are lacking are a lot of money. And a lot of regular people going to these shows and being in the community, being a part of the scene. I feel like it's a lot of, not all in the slightest, but I feel like a lot of local acts in Denver have a lot of other musicians going to their shows, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it shows the amount of support that we have for each other. But growing to a superpower like LA is, right? I think it requires a very intense and very strong community based around people who aren't in the music scene. Regular people. This is their escape from their everyday life. That's what gets more money flowing, and that's what builds a stronger industry, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, respond to that before I go to my next points. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
on that?
so it's you're basically saying right now is like Denver doesn't have a lot of people outside of the musicians
Correct.
that go to music. And I would say that is definitely true about Denver. But you also have to realize that Denver compared to LA, there's like a huge population difference.
But right now, right? And I think that you're right, but I also think that there is enough money in the city. If we get these regular people involved in what the music scene's doing, it can still be comparable, right? Obviously, we don't have as many people, but per capita, like as far as like the population between the cities, I feel like it could balance out, right? Like obviously, we're not gonna have.
I think what you're trying to say is there just needs to be more of an investment into a local community from corporations or the local government or the state government, like allocating funds for local music.
I also think though
Is that what you're trying to say? Because like I think that's probably what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because you're just saying that there's lacking money, not that there's lacking talent. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah. See. Yeah. What were you gonna
I
say?
also think of like in terms of what you're talking about, like that's still building upon what Denver has, which is the live music economy.
Yeah.
Which I think
It's expanding.
I think what Denver needs is more than just that. Like, where are the sessions for? We don't have a movie industry out here. There's other cities like Atlanta. Outside of LA, and there's other cities that have like a movie industry where you can be like making music for that, working on XYZ and like other forms of industry. Commercials, XYZ.
Yes.
And like
I've heard it's just really expensive to shoot here in Colorado.
why is that?
I don't know if it's
Like
like a
what?
permit thing or.
Yeah, I don't surely know, but I think if Denver were to grow into a larger music city, with more notoriety, that we would have to break out of just the live gig industry. Because as many of our professors and mentors have discussed, Denver's pay rate for the live industry has been abysmal. It literally hasn't grown in years, and people are still taking these gigs, and the musicians aren't getting more, and the pay hasn't raised, which is keeping the musicians and the community down as a whole.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up, but the Jay Bianchi drama or like fiasco about like I don't know. Do you guys know about Jay Bianchi?
Oh my god, I've played as many times.
But
Who's that?
Good old Jay Bianchi.
Like, well, the person, he's like a venue owner, and he has like a lot of different venues.
What venues does he own?
He owns Coyotes. He used to run Solid
Psychedelic-
Show.
Psychedelic
I got you.
It's like he
Sounds like a shady
Ripple.
dude.
Now it's so many roads. It's
big-
like a fucking 100 different fucking things.
Yeah, the big problem with him is the sexual assault that he's done. But through that, there's a lot of people who are trying to boycott his venues. But the reason a lot of musicians from like the relatively big amongst us to like smaller are saying like a boycott wouldn't work because people are
So they're gonna take the gigs.
they're gonna still take the gigs, and so what's happening is there's gonna be like a gigging musician union is what's trying to get.
Which there should be here.
Yeah, which is basically saying that kind of like in the classical world with the musicians union, like you only get certain gigs that are at a certain price, so like $100 per person.
Yeah.
But this is now localized for like gigging musicians and people outside of
That
the
would be
classical realm. And it's interesting that to hear like a musician union being formed.
That's the case in all the other major cities. You know,
Yeah.
you think about
And that's the
like
case in all the major
SAG
industries.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's silly that the gigging musicians.
it's a big
Don't
enough
have that.
industry here that could be the case. You just need like key figures to spearhead it and try to involve the local government in some way to support it at least.
Well, so that's kind of what that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? So okay, cool. So we've established all of that, right? So now let's talk about how you expand. Now let's talk about how you grow. How do we actually get money into that scene, right? Well, it requires leadership and requires a tighter community than we have now. We have these little pockets of community all around this city, right? And when I say this, it's not in a negative way, but it's just how I see it, right? We have these small pockets of cliques that like, okay, cool, we have the indie music scene, and we have the hip-hop scene, and we have the EDM scene, and we have the da-da-da-da, right? Now, if all of those scenes work and we have this centralized leadership, or a centralized place where culture is created around that, right? Then everything expands. Everyone wants to come in because it looks like people are doing stuff that's cool. It looks like this music scene, this entertainment scene, right, is building. It looks like something you want to be a part of, right? And that's some of the ideas I have for Late Fork. We won't get into that right now, but I feel like the whole thing is we need to be a tighter community and all working for the same goal. Okay, so Ryan's getting pizza, but I feel like the whole deal here is that we need to just be a tighter community, all working for the same goal, and I feel like that gets lost because the fact that the pay rate for gigs is so low. Here's the deal, right? Everyone needs to eat. So every session a lot of people do, we're trying to get money. We're trying to get paid. But realistically, what we need to be doing is creating together for the sake of creating together for the sake of creating to build this cool content that people want to see. Yeah. And I feel like that can get lost because of the fact that the people need to eat and we need to make money.
And I just want to say too, it's like, obviously, if it comes down to it and, you're hiring someone and, paying for their time, happy to do that. We want to support each other. And
sometimes it's needed.
Sometimes it's needed. But also it's like, all right, sometimes it's like, if you pay them and like, this idea kind of like, on the fly kind of thing, you might need to add something else that necessarily wasn't in the contract.
Yeah.
Then it shouldn't be like necessarily like a renegotiated thing, because in the
I'm in the act, so I need to get
in the act of wanting to create community and to build and to create together, it shouldn't necessarily come down to that. If you do have that community-based mindset of like, okay, we're creating here and we're looking forward to building something larger.
To build the
And
scene.
what the fuck is an extra $10 or whatever the fuck it may be anyways for like the 1 second of this extra thing, you're gonna really do in the long run anyways. Is that going to help you build your community, or is that going to get you some extra bread for like an hour?
Exactly, because how many sessions in LA happen completely for free just because they're hoping that it turns into something? Right?
I mean,
a lot of them.
Yeah, and like writing. I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, maybe the session is for free, but then all right, you got your points on the record, on the back end, on the writing credit and shit. And if that song lifts off, you're still fucking good. But in terms of that session, yeah, like we just did it. We all got into a room, and maybe we didn't get paid for that, but boom, we made this epic ass song, and now that song's popping, and you got points at the back end. It didn't matter then.
Yeah, well, I do like last time I went out to LA, like I did a couple sessions that were to be pitched to major labels, right? And I wasn't like, I need money for this. I was like, no, this is a good opportunity. We're gonna make something great. Let me go in the room here. Let me do what I can, and I'll get points on the back end of this if it gets there. And if it doesn't, fine. This is for the sake of building connections and
It's networking, and it's because the networking aspect of it, it's like, damn, if you're really out and you really want to make a connection, and the pay is kind of in the front of your mindset, you're not really networking. You're not really building that connection.
And you don't really want to do it anyway then.
Yeah, I think it's like I think the problem though with the community versus pay though is like people just want to people are very selfish.
Totally.
I feel like even in LA and New York, there's people that are moving from New York, that have made it somewhat big or even big, and then moving to Denver, because they just hate the community the community because everybody's just stepping on each other just so that they can get the next big.
Sounds like a lack of community.
Yeah. But it's like a completely different scene. Totally. And I feel like LA is also the same way, where people are trying to step on each other to get to the next big thing.
Right.
And I feel like what really with Denver, which I think is probably going to make it even bigger, is that we have people from New York coming to Denver, people from Atlanta coming to Denver, people from Texas coming to Denver, LA coming to Denver.
Yeah.
We have, and these are like big people, right? If they're coming from Denver or from other places into Denver,
It starts to bring more industry.
and then you can make that connection.
Totally.
Like for me, I made the connection with like Isaac Teal,
Yeah.
and like I wouldn't have gone that, and even like with Venus Cruz and with all these other people, right? And I wouldn't have gotten that connection if they didn't even come to Denver,
Totally.
right? And I feel like the big thing is as more people start coming in, the market will start increasing.
Totally.
So then
Yes.
we'll start getting more sessions in here.
I do want to say this though about Denver, in regards to your stepping on, people trying to get the next gig. That's one thing that Denver doesn't really engage in. Like all musicians here in Denver, we all know each other, and although we might have our specific cliques, we all like each other, and we all vibe, and we all hang out, and we all chat, and we all chill. Like it's a very, it is communal in the sense of everybody just knowing one another, and
100%.
as opposed to like be like it being civil and be like not like I'm gonna step on your toes or I'm gonna like try to like
Kick
take
you down.
a gig or some
Take you
shit,
down.
like
There's not a ton of that yet.
There's no vibing.
yeah. Well,
There-
vibing, dude.
There's always vibe. There's always vibe. There's always vibe.
But no, and I also think as us as that, not like smaller, but us as that like class below that, right? With these bigger musicians, it's important for us to build. It's important for us to build a platform for things to be made, for things to be put out on.
And I want to say this too: those people that do have those higher positions too,
because you
like-
want to be a part of it.
totally. And what do all the biggest people, like even all the biggest artists in the world, like what do they always do? All the most notable ones, they're always bringing up the people below them, like. And that's community shit, and that's fucking belief in your community. It's belief in the people you work
Yeah.
with, and seeing like I want to help bring that person.
Yeah.
Like I want them to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And like help elevate that. And
Yep.
I think that's really the goal of what this whole conversation has been:
Exactly.
is elevating all the scene, the crew, the people.
Listen, guys, we're the most professional podcast of all time.
Pretty
all time.
Pizza just appeared. Well, no,
I
mean,
left to get pizza, and now I'm back.
Now you're back. Well, no, dude, and like let's like, and like this
My
isn't
guy's
like
hungry.
this isn't like like I'm so dope thing. Like let's look at like my church gig right. I was lucky enough to be in a position where I can put money back into the scene now. I can hire my friends. I can get people in there who
Joey helps
who
me
work.
pay rent.
But no, but it's like like that, like that's not a thing where it's like but it's like that was the thing I was most excited about. Like fuck making a salary, like fuck all of that shit. The thing I was most excited about was being able to give back to my community. It's given back to me so much because I was always the one that got gigs. I could never give gigs because of one reason or another. I used to be very not liked in the music scene. Now we're good though. But that was the thing I was
I don't
most
know, man. I
excited
still
about.
don't like you very much. Man.
When were you not liked in the music industry?
I felt that I wasn't liked because I used to be.
This was like I wouldn't say like the music scene. I would say like it was more like collegiate, like like going through
That
just
class,
like
yeah.
going through like when you were just like figuring out your shit and
I had very strong opinions.
yeah.
But even them.
You still have strong opinions, Joe.
It's true, but I know how to present them better.
I would argue they're even stronger now.
I would say so too.
But even with the collegiate, because like all you guys went to are like technically my seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you graduated ahead of me. But like I've gotten gigs from you guys.
Yeah.
And I've made connections from you guys. And then from you guys, I've gotten to know other people in the industry. It's like the community, I feel.
That's because you're dope as hell.
Well,
Yeah.
well, but I mean, like, there's also the aspect of like, I feel like, and this is a little buff to like CU Denver, but like a lot of the alumni from CU Denver are like more or less into the Denver music scene than like DU or UNC.
100%.
Like
I agree.
like you like if you go to UMS, which is for those who don't know, the Underground Music Showcase, almost like 1 in 3 bands has a like CU Denver alumni in it, or there's a CU Denver alumni working sound or working
Right.
or doing the music business stuff, or like I feel like CU Denver has like one of those things where you don't see it. Like I don't know a lot of DU people or MSU people in Denver.
Which isn't that weird?
They're there. They're there.
I know some
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
They're there.
But compared to like
But I think that should be because we went to CU Denver.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like if you went to DU, you'd probably say the same thing. You know the people at DU, and then maybe not so much MSU or CU Denver.
But that goes back to the whole community building thing.
But
right?
I think maybe what you're saying is like the CU Denver music program with business and performance and recording is a lot bigger than DU's or
MSU.
Metro's program.
Yeah.
They also specialize in different things.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. They also cost very different
Yeah.
amounts, you know.
The DU guys are jazz cats, dude. They
Yeah.
burn.
100%.
Burn.
I think that's valid though. I think really at the end of the day that just goes to show that like for the really young people, you're either like already a part of the scene because you grew up in Denver, or you went to school there. You know.
Joe,
mhm.
will you hit me with a trillion? Our sponsor.
I think the thing that I love about Denver is like all the different styles of music that are present here, that are thriving on some level or another. I think the thing I would like to see more of is more representation in local, like R&B and hip hop.
And I think we're starting to.
I think it's starting to
to,
get there.
do
Yeah,
that now,
but
yeah.
I think that's
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's just more artists that are prominent now that are in that style of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Look, I mean, like even in our circle, like now we've got Ivy, now we've got Sway, now we've got, you know, it's like we've got some people. Now I'm rapping and doing R&B. We're all making beats. We're all playing. It's not this thing where it's like, you know, it's so because and this is a testament to the work that we've already done to start to build more of a community, right? Like we're all jazz guys that are now playing on hip hop records or playing on R&B records.
I think I was
Sessions with these-
like a pseudo jazz guy. I don't know if I would ever like
Same,
fully
yeah.
say.
I think
say
Barth is the only real jazz guy.
But like,
I don't know.
What?
but like we went to jazz school though. It's like we're, you know, that's kind of where our tradition comes from.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of getting into that.
But I think there's a lot of musicians that do that though. They go to college, or at
Yeah.
some point in their life, they have a phase of jazz when they first discover jazz, or maybe like when they first start playing it, right? At least on a collegiate level, that's probably what happens. Because not everybody likes jazz or gets into it.
They do it for the grade.
Yeah.
They basically play jazz or do a jury for the grade, but then once they leave college, they start doing their own thing. Like Wilderness is like a big thing. Like Emma and Seth were performance majors, and Seth was a jazz bassist, and now he's playing guitar in an indie rock band.
Yeah.
When I think, you know, Dan Schwent
100%.
told me one time, this honestly made things click for me. It was a really important moment in our musical development.
Who is Dan Schwinn?
Dan Schwent is a
Fucking
local.
man.
Yeah,
I know who he is, but like tell
he's
me.
Newton's probably the most qualified to give a little bio here.
I mean, he's just like been pretty much the go-to guitar player in the Denver music scene for like a decade plus. You know, he's just an incredibly musical and talented dude who also takes. You know, he taught at our college at CU Denver, and he was the professor that really connected and took it upon himself to really mentor and develop relationships with his students
Compared to
and
other
push them,
teachers.
compared to other, and like really push them to really believe in themselves and their abilities, regardless of what level they're at.
Yeah.
You know, like he really
Did you take
has
lessons
been a
from him?
mentor for myself, and I know Joe and a lot of other cats. because of his amazing ability to teach and just his amazing ability to play, but also his want and need to develop that connection with his students and make sure that they feel that they are are heard and and that
It's important.
Yeah.
From a teacher.
Yeah, I've never said this publicly, not because I didn't want to, never kind of had the opportunity, but Dan was the reason why I'm still playing music today. I mean,
We've talked about that.
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
We've talked about that.
I mean, to be completely honest, man, and because I remember one time walking in, I was really struggling with jazz at the time and passing college. I almost got kicked out of the program. It was the whole thing. And I remember Dan sat me down after, I think it was the first lesson of the semester after I failed my sophomore proficiency. And he said, look, man, you're not learning jazz to learn jazz. He's like, you're learning jazz to be able to relate to any musician that you play with on a professional level. That's why you're learning this stuff. When you walk into a room and meet someone you've never played with before, you relate on some level because you've learned all these standards. You've learned this stuff. You've learned how to communicate in the same tradition, in the same school. Like school as in, the school, like
Jazz.
learning jazz, right?
Yeah.
And
Music school.
Yeah. And he's like, you've learned how to do that. So now you can relate with anyone you get in a room with that's done that same thing.
It's because every type of music, Western music, is based off of jazz.
It is, yeah.
Every single type.
Yeah.
And just knowing that level of harmony and theory and having done the research and all the shit that goes into learning jazz, like you're then able to, because jazz is just so harmonically dense that from there you can strip it back to any level.
Yep. Yeah.
It gives you a good gradient of
Yeah.
like different kinds of styles
Totally.
that you want to do, and that's like that was like what I've learned and what actually got me into like really studying jazz, because I grew up listening to a lot of like video game music, and then with video game music it's also very dense because it's supposed to it's very
Keeps you
stylistically
engaged.
yeah, but it's also stylistically dense because it does jazz, it does pop, it does R&B, funk, all these different kinds of stuff. But to get there, I've heard I've been to master classes and they say to learn every style, learn jazz first, because you can learn R&B because R&B comes from jazz. They have 251s. Chaka Khan does a lot of jazz standards and with jazz it's it gives you everything you need to know and gives you all the understanding. Even if you just study jazz for a year,
Right.
you can understand how to study R&B now. You know how to understand do blues.
Well, it takes discipline to learn jazz, and I think that's one of the main things with the style and the genre.
It also
You
teaches
don't
you
just
swing.
half-ass jazz.
Like if you don't
And
study
feel.
jazz, especially if you listen to really rhythmically straight music, sometimes you can tell when somebody has can swing. I mean, you can obviously tell if someone can swing or not, but think about someone playing funk music, but they only know how to play straight.
There's
It
that
feels different, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody else is feeling it either slightly ahead or behind the beat. But if one person just plays that straight feel, you're
it doesn't give you that danceability to it.
Yeah.
There's
that movement.
and
yeah.
a lot of my in the gospel music scene, it's that's you have to get that right feeling. Every song in every genre has a certain feeling.
Yes.
And it's not just the rhythmic feeling. There's the whole feeling of the music kind of feeling. And to nail that is the whole point of being in gospel.
That's authenticity, right?
Yeah, if you can get that authentic feel to jazz, that swing that just fits in that right era of jazz, then everyone who listens to it is oh, that feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, and this could be totally off topic. I don't think it really is. It kind of goes off what you were saying there. I had a volunteer at the church be why are you bringing these guys in? Why can't you just use the volunteer? This was only one person. And I told him, I was the guys that I'm bringing in we do this every single day. Number one, they're not going to miss. Like I could give you music, I give either of you music the night before, and it would be.
I don't even look at the music till I get to the set.
Yeah. And I was like, so they're not going to miss. And number two, they know how to give that authentic feeling to the music that we're playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing. Like for example, you're doing the Good Friday gig.
Yeah.
You like, dude. There's no missing. It's like it's gonna be great, and I don't have to worry about that. Whereas if I hired a volunteer, it would be like, I don't know. I just don't know.
It's a wild card.
Yeah,
It's
for
a
sure.
wild card.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And like it might be great, yeah. But like if I have these resources I want to use because they're able to develop, you guys are able to give that authentic feeling. I had someone pull me aside today after today's service, and they said, "You're giving the music here an enthusiasm and an authenticity that we've never had before."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, partly that's me, but partly that's because I'm bringing cats like you guys in. I'm bringing people like you. I'm bringing people like Aaron in. It's like, and
Ben?
yeah, and Ben and Patrick. And it's like they've never had that before. So the church itself is willing to spend the money on it because now they immediately see the value as soon as it happens. Like I was talking to the pastor. I was like, "Can you imagine going back now?" And he's like, "No, there's no way, and they're so accepting of the people that I bring because number one, you guys are professionals, and number two, you guys are invested in the music that's being played, and you want it to sound good, and we know how to work with each other. Like on Easter, it's gonna be all professionals in the band. And it's going to be ridiculous because of the fact, and on Good Friday, it's going to be just a professional there. Like it's not someone who this is their hobby, this is our job, this is our life.
That brings up a point that we talked about earlier. Is like this guy that was kind of griping about bringing in professionals. One of the things was like he's like, well, I've been a semi.
You're about to tell me how to get it?
No, but it's like so here's the thing, right? So we have a guitar player. He's in his 70s. His name's Paul.
Oh, he's the man. Shout out to
Paul's
Paul.
the man. But what I love about Paul is that he understands the difference and he loves it. He's so excited about playing with the people that are real professionals because these volunteers don't get the opportunity to do that. And that's what, like my whole thing is like if anyone is upset that I'm bringing in professionals, dude, ask, number one, learn their names, meet them, talk to them, right? If you see a drummer like Ryan who just nails it every time, ask him a couple questions. See,
Gleam off of them.
Yeah, like see what he's doing.
Gleam off of them.
Yeah, and
Learn from them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's kind of my whole thing is like it's so dope. The reason why I like people like Paul so much is like they're just like, oh my god.
He's good energy, man.
Yeah, I get to play with real guys who do this for a living. This is crazy. This is the highlight of my week, and as it should be. When we have our team there, as it should be the highlight of your week. No one else has had the gall to say like, hey, let me hire people consistently. I guarantee they will add no one before me has had the gall to do that because they were afraid to spend the money. And I'm like, no, it's worth it though. It's worth it. And dude, do you see how many people every single service that are singing now and being more active and being more. This is a Lutheran church. People don't do that, but slowly,
They don't show their emotions.
Suppress that shit.
But slowly.
Your dog is not going to heaven.
God.
Your dog doesn't have a fucking soul.
That was hilarious. No, it's like slow.
Can't believe the pastor said that.
Yeah, slowly but surely, like
That's crazy.
slowly but surely, these people are, and I have members pull me aside and be like, "Thank you for everything that you do." Like I can tell the difference.
It's good to be appreciated.
It's good, dude, and it's like it's and like I every single Sunday the pastor texted me. He texted me last week when Ben did sound for the first time, and he's like, Joey, I noticed such a big difference. Whatever you need to do it. We'll figure out the money side. Doesn't matter. Like, do what you need to
Get
do.
me in there every
That was
week.
Yeah, right.
Get me in
I'm
there
trying.
every
Yeah,
week, dude.
same here, bro.
Yeah, but that like gives you like
Let's get the acoustic drum set.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get the microphones. Get me in there, dude. I'll fucking drum solo every god darn week, dude.
it's nice to see like the church
darn.
taking
yeah,
seeing the
I
effects
caught
of,
myself.
I
of
already
like
dropped like 3 F-bombs.
actual
I know,
musicians
bro.
coming through.
I was talking.
Yeah, it is.
So I played at a bunch of churches. I played like before gospel. I played in like a lot of like white churches and
CCM.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But you notice like people just think it's a concert. They just go there
Yeah.
for a concert,
Totally.
but then they also start taking it for granted. Like, oh, you have to have good music,
Yeah.
and or else it's not worth it. And then they start hiring people who just don't do a good job.
Yeah.
Who've been playing for 20 years.
But don't do
Yeah, and like to even go off of that idea of like playing 20 years, there's a gospel drummer, who's like really big now. His name is Dion. Amazing. He was at the. I'm not super sure about the story. I think he started at Heritage, singing.
Okay.
He was like a really great singer. Simeon actually was playing that. Simeon stopped for some reason. I don't know full story, but then Dion started playing it. This is like 5. He just picked up drums 5 years and became like really good. And it's like I would say he's better than most drummers that I've played with who've been playing for like 10 years.
Shots fired, Ryan. Shots fired.
I don't take it personally at all, dude.
It's like there's like a testament.
Yeah.
There's like a testament to like it's not about the time, like how long you've been playing. It's about how the quality of the time.
Yes, and he's also, if he's been just a vocalist or musician all of that time, like
It's
that makes
easier.
a huge difference because he knows what he likes to hear, what he's used to hearing. So that is like at least a goal for him to get to. You know what I mean? Like
He's like,
as long as you understand the rhythm, like for drums at least, if you understand whatever the rhythm is you're going for, and you can like beatbox it or sing it or hear it in your head, then it's just a matter of independence. It's just a matter of putting things. This lands here.
You
this
have
lands
the
together.
time. That stuff's already done. It's not just
I
getting.
mean, not to take away from that. That shit's difficult to get to that point. but
It's just another way of going about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's super cool, dude.
Well, yeah, dude, and like I don't know, man. It's so nice to be able to give a product to these people, and that they've never had before, and be excited and be people who are passionate about it and who like it's like I don't care. This might be weird. I don't care if you're super religious or not, right? Mm-hmm. Are you passionate what you're doing in that moment? Are you excited about? Are you excited about giving these people a product that they could change their entire week? And that's I think what I go into it every week. It's like I have my own beliefs, but it may not line up exactly with. And I've had these conversations with leadership there, but they're all okay with. They're all very accepting of that. And it's like, but every week I walk into that place, and I say, I want to try to change somebody's life with what I'm doing here. I want to give back. I want to use my talent for this, and that's what matters. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I had in one of my classes, there's the senior recital like project class, and Drew was saying, Drew's our teacher. He's like a
Drew Morrell, amazing player.
Plays everything.
Everything.
Legit everything.
Real well.
But he was saying that like as musicians we have, like our job is not just to play music. Like whenever someone goes to see music, that music like
It's healing.
It's healing, and
Yeah,
it takes off that like because he was saying like whenever you go throughout your whole week or month or like without music or without or just go through the day, you get like dust getting settled on you, right? Of all the stuff that was you're going through, like breakups, bad day at work, a stressful day, no money or anything, and like whenever they go to music, they our job is to take off that dust, to like take off that burden from them, so that they have, whenever they leave, hopefully they like have like that energy to go back through the whole day again.
Yeah. Take that back to what Joe was talking about with the church. It's, you know, the music is the worship, right? So like the people, the followers, the believers, whatever, churchgoers, however you want to describe them, like if you have really, really great musicians that play great music, they basically, like, you imagine they enter like a different world, right? Their eyes are closed, they're singing along, and whatever they're picturing at the time, that's how it's supposed to be for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and like obviously your church like hasn't had that before. And what's funny, the thing that I thought about, not to like go back to it, but you were saying about how much people appreciated it and how great it was, is it's funny that they don't even know what's coming, dude.
Yeah.
Because like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let me preface this, like, you're doing a great job from like wherever it was and like making the progress, but it's just funny that they think that that's good.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea, right?
Yeah.
Like where it's going to be.
One thing I've told volunteers who have been like, why did you do that? I was like, these other bigger churches, they just hire people. They just hire professional musicians. It's only professional people. They don't have volunteers doing any of this stuff. It's all hired people.
Well, think about it this way: when people come, if they're talking about how they want new, young individuals to come, what's the first thing that a young person's gonna notice, right? Okay, off the bat, there's this old dude on stage talking about something. Okay, but the music's about to start. That music is what's gonna decide if they stay or not.
Totally. 100%.
Because if the music's bad, oh man, kind of tuning out. They might even leave. Who knows?
Yep.
The music's great, and then they're like, and then here's the pastor. Oh, wow, that word was really great today. I felt uplifted and positive from the music, and I was able to accept the word today.
Yeah. Well, dude,
it's formulaic, dude.
Exactly.
And it works.
Well, and like you and I were talking the other day, and it was like, like that pastor, like you can tell he's authentic. You can tell he's like, or at least like, okay, cool. Now you have this music that pulls you in. Then you listen to that. It's like that is what can give someone their.
It keeps the authenticity the whole time, as opposed to having subpar music
and a great message and all this stuff.
A great message,
because that can ruin the entire thing, man. And it's like, it's just so funny, man, because it's like, you see the difference that it makes. And it's like, oh, cool, I'm not like, I do music for me, and I do my projects for me, and I have all my shit for me, but now I get this other thing to where it's not just for me. And it's like, okay, cool, now I get to give this product I've worked so hard to create.
Yeah.
Right? And you're right, it's just the beginning. That's why I've told everyone that works there, like, it's just the beginning. I had a volunteer come to me and say, hey, I'm going to take a step back in what I'm doing, not because I don't want to do it, but I want to see what you're going to do. So I'm here for whatever you need. I'm going to take a step back. You don't really need me right now. I'm not going to try to do what you want to do. Tell me when you need me. But I just kind of want to watch what you're going to do here. Because it's so... And, not to, like two of my best friends had done this job before me. So, like, this isn't a knock on any of them. But it's like, I've been doing this my entire life. So this is how I started playing music, was in worship. So to come back and get to do it now, is like, okay, I know what I want it to look like. I know what I want it to be, and we can do all of that stuff too. And to have people want to help with that and want to, for the majority of the volunteers to trust what I'm doing and say, hey, I'm not upset you're hiring people. It sounds great. Do it. Do what you're doing. It's amazing. Keep doing it. It's like, fuck yes, dude. Like this is it's like, okay, cool, this is worth it.
Yeah, I think on that topic, dude, like, what the fuck's up with your jorts, man? I had no idea it was jort season already.
Dude,
it was warm out today, dude.
So
it was.
Joey's changed, man.
It was.
Joey's changed, man. He
Got it.
he got a nice job.
You got that.
He came in some ripped jeans.
Now he's got the jorts.
I don't even know what Joey is anymore.
They're not even like jorts where like you had jeans that you cut them. You like bought
intentionally bought jorts.
Yeah.
That's a move, dude. That's a power move right there.
Daddy, dude. Get that MILF money, dude. Daddy.
That granddad.
No money.
What does that mean?
I went to a party last night, and
A what?
I met this. Not in a party. It was like a birthday thing at a bar, and I went to.
Yeah, but were you wearing a mask, Joe?
Not at the bar because we were all at a table.
Okay.
It was a party, man.
Are you being safe, Joe?
Yeah, I'm being safe. Yeah.
Are we safe?
Always.
Are we safe to be here right now?
Yeah,
Always. Sorry, guys. We test everyone before every podcast. Be irresponsible to not.
Continue with the story.
But no, and I was talking to this woman. I think she's like 45.
Yeah.
Facts.
And she's like, my son is doing music, wants to do music full time. And I was like, I was drunk as fuck. And I was like, give him, like, get me in contact with your son. Let me, like, I can help him. Like, let me, I was like, yo, like, I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
So, like, any mistake I think her son's 22.
Yeah.
And I was like, any mistake he's about to make, I've already made.
Yeah.
Let me talk to, and I was like, it was so, just like, immediately I was just like.
And then you call me, you're like, get out now.
Yeah.
Don't
you fucking do it.
Don't you
fucking
continue.
do it.
Do anything else but
That's
music.
an interesting because if you don't really
Do
want
anything else but music.
if you don't really want to do this shit,
Yeah.
don't do it. Mm-hmm. If you don't really love this shit every single day, I mean, how many people do we know? This isn't a bad thing. How many people do we know that have quit because they didn't? And good. Like, if you don't really want to do this, quit. Stop.
It's an all in. You gotta just put everything in. It's not a put like I'm only gonna put 5% of it in music.
Bro, I think about this literally all the time. It's like, if I wasn't doing music, like, what the fuck would I be doing in my free time? I feel like I would
You'd
be
probably still be doing something creative.
I know, but I'd be like, I'd be so bored. I think.
That's why people have hobbies, dude. You know.
I mean, I still got hobbies.
We don't have
hobbies. We got hobbies.
I do
We
have
hit the wall and shit.
hobbies. But that's a good point. Like
Like, what the
there used to
fuck?
be this narrative, right, where it's just like you're gonna be practicing fucking 8 hours a day. Like
Yeah,
you
fuck that
eat,
shit.
sleep, and poop music. You know, that's all you do is shed, and it's like
hustle.
Yeah.
and that's like great, but also
Kinda.
toxic as fuck. Because
Right.
music is not my identity. It is something that is like a part of me, like a large part of me, right? But it's not the only thing that identifies me or anything, you know? And I think a lot of musicians found that, for better or for worse, when the pandemic hit, right? Because all of our value is like, wow, literally all our money is gone. Like,
Yeah.
our entire industry is gone.
Yeah.
What do I base myself upon? Because I'm not playing gigs, and maybe some
I
of
don't
us
have this
weren't
validation
releasing. Yeah,
anymore.
we weren't releasing music, and so you're like, what validates me? And I think everybody started to find
You validate yourself, man.
exactly, yeah. Well, validation is in anything else, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's things like when all the money went away, it showed who really wants to do this shit, who's really invested in this. And listen, I want to make this very, very clear.
I don't know. I don't think that's fair, dude, because I feel like some people had to get a day job if they didn't have.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
I think what he's saying is like it shows like the resolve you have.
Yes.
And I feel like getting a day job shows more of a resolve if you're still
it's temporary.
doing it. Yeah, like because you're saying like, oh, I already know that. I know that right now my music jobs are not going to give me my full income.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use some of this day job to give me stability.
Yeah.
So that whenever, say, a pandemic hits the world and music can't give me everything, I have this one job that still pays the bills.
100%.
So I can still also do music, but also do this to survive.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
I lived that life, bro. Fuck.
Yeah.
I lived that life for so long. Like, doing, like, trying to do, like, the music on the side, but also working in a restaurant, which I just ate at my soul.
I bet,
Terribly. But it was like, okay.
It's gonna
It
pay.
afforded me time.
Yeah, and it's like that. The thought was like it's gonna pay. I remember having so many conversations with girlfriends and being like, "It's like, why do you put all this work? It's gonna pay off." I know it. It cannot not. I know for a fact. I don't know what it's gonna
That's
be.
crazy that your girlfriends were like, "Why are you doing all this work?"
Bro,
Well,
that's why they're his
That's why they're
exes.
the ex.
That's why they're his exes, man. Yo, where are these exes at?
No. Yo, fuck my exes. That no.
Today
I
on
don't-
Joey's exes.
Yeah.
No, but I looking back, right?
Yeah.
I think I misinterpreted a lot of that energy. I don't think it was like, why the fuck are you doing this? I think it was general confusion. I think it was general, just genuinely not knowing. Because how could you know? How could you understand?
Yeah.
If you're not in my position, how could you get it?
It goes.
Yeah.
It goes back to 2 podcasts ago whenever we were talking about like relationships and it's like there's no blueprint to be successful in music.
None.
There is no like with like doctors, you're like, okay, go to university, go to grad school, go to medical school,
Right.
do 8 years of
Like,
training, get a residency, and then after that you will get a job, hopefully.
And $300,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
But also be making
but
like
you-
$100K a year.
Yeah, right? So but like with music is like, go to university, just work on your craft.
Graduate. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Exactly. Graduate. Now you have to figure out what you gotta do. And it's like, through that, it's like
I wish that wasn't the narrative.
that you,
I wish the narrative was like music school is an option, but I wish there was also just like, imagine if there was just like someone like, let's just say like Adam Deitch, for example, who's like
let us try.
a world famous musician, and he just like offered to not just like lessons, but
Mentor.
mentorship
Mentor, yeah.
some people, like young people, you know what I mean? Imagine if everybody that lived in different cities did that, and that was like an option. It's like, yeah, you can either spend that money at this college program, or you can learn the same
Well,
thing.
that's what I was saying
from
about
people.
the greats bringing people up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so our homie Matt, when I first started college, like our first semester, like him and I really hit it off, and literally after that semester, he was like, "Dude, I don't need this shit." Like, literally,
I
this was
remember
like-
having that conversation.
Yeah,
with
it was like he was already like hanging out with like
Yeah.
Lem and like all these cats. He was already phenomenal, and he was like, "I don't even do jazz." He's like, "I don't even really like jazz." He's like, he's like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah.
And him and I like played like a couple jazz things for whatever the semester was, and then after that semester,
Good to go.
he dropped out and has been destroying ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look at him and I'm like, yo, like
And
he knew right away, and he fucking was like, yo, this is not for me. And he took that direction because he already had those mentors and those people like already helped bringing him up, and he was already at a certain level where like he is just, you know, on Adam Deitch's thing, like he hangs out with Deitch and he drums with Deitch, and like because he's incredible, like, and he knew that the college wasn't going to serve him as a musician.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with Ben too, right?
Yeah, Corsicana.
Yeah.
That's because I went to school with Ben, and he was like
Shout Ben Pisano, dude.
Ben Pisano, great guy,
Great guy.
musician, great engineer.
Terrible at texting back. Great guy.
It's like 5 years.
But like he did that same thing. He like was doing recording arts, and I had physics of sound with him, and he was like, at the end of it, he was like, I feel like I don't need school anymore. And then he dropped out, and now he's doing great because one, he also had Corsicana going, and he was fairly popular in the music scene with Corsicana.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ben is a rare individual to be like a sole songwriter in a group, play every instrument, mix, have the ability to mix and master. And like normally when people do that, you're like, oh, they have to be lacking in something. They can't be good at all of those things. But that's exactly what Ben is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
And he's very dedicated. That's the thing. He's super dedicated to the craft, and
humble.
And very humble. He's not like, oh, I can do all of this. I should be the best. I'm the best person and the only person you should go to.
Yeah.
But no, he's
That'd
like,
be fucking hilarious to hear Ben say that.
yeah.
Well, dude, like it's super funny. Like I didn't even know about I didn't even know Ben when I started doing all of my shit.
Yeah.
But like that was like him doing all of that for so long. That probably made it easier for me to say, hey, I do all this shit. Like he at such a young age too. It's like, oh fuck. And once I understood, I was like, oh shit, dude. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're a monster. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, he's
awesome.
only like 23 years old.
Yeah. And like
Little
now knowing more and now knowing more about him, it's like, and knowing him better, it's like, oh shit, dude, like that's cool. Like you like you were doing all this shit that I started talking about before I even knew it was a fucking thing.
Well, that
Like,
also
it's
comes with the
crazy.
territory too. Like, man, if you're like that dope and you don't have that level of humility, then you're lacking in some form of character. Like
Sure.
all the greats
Yeah.
are the most humble individuals.
The
Yeah.
coolest people,
Yeah, like if you tell them that the greatest shit that ever fucking happened to this earth, they were like, nah, dude. Like
They would laugh.
They
Maybe
laugh. They're like,
maybe a
"Hey."
thanks.
Yeah, maybe
And
a
then-
thanks. And be like, nah.
Yeah, oh thanks man. But
Super
anyway.
kind.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Literally, like I had an interaction.
Deflect that shit. Well,
Totally.
man,
I had an interaction where I literally did that to Derek Trucks. Literally fangirled hard as any. I think it was like 12 at the time or some shit. Like
yes.
and ran up to Derek Trucks, was like, "That was the greatest shit I've ever seen. That was the most prolific. You were the best. I cannot believe I just witnessed you." In, like
You're saying this at 12 years old.
yeah, like so I was just like geeking, like
Yeah.
smile from ear to ear, and he was just like, like a thanks, like nah, like, and it was just like, you want a picture? And his wife Susan Tedeschi, like this was like back in like the day, like Razor phones, like she took a photo like on my Razor phone.
That's
And I know,
hilarious.
which is like it's in my music room, it's in the studio,
Yeah.
and that. What for me, I still think about that often, about that level of humility that Derek Trucks showed me that
To a
day.
little kid.
Yeah, because like, I mean, holy fuck, he just destroyed. What venue was that in Chicago? It wasn't Soldier Field. There was like another huge arena in Chicago, and he just destroyed. And after that, it was just like it was nothing. He was like, I just love music, and like that was a huge life lesson in terms of being like, if you're that good, you like, I want to have that mindset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And that's like it's really like it shows you how much like music is more of like that life, like or life is music kind of mentality of like, I'm just doing this because I love it, and you appreciating me is like,
Feeds into it.
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't feel like I'm like the
Worthy.
best person or
Oh,
the,
for sure.
Yeah, I still feel like, and I've had students come up to me and like, dude, that was awesome, like, or I've had people come up to me and like, and it's always that like, I feel like with that humility, it's like you understand like where you came from before that.
Yeah.
Like how bad you were
It's
before
so-
that.
so important.
And how you got, and it's like a little bit of like, oh, I got here.
Well, it's also this like false thing of, right, you play a show and it's this high and you get to meet the people before and afterwards and they tell you that they like it or maybe they don't. But like life goes on beforehand and life goes on afterwards, right? It's
Yeah.
like this split moment in time where you get to hopefully enjoy in
Yeah.
what everything that you've done
It's
beforehand.
like, but I still have to go to the show.
But still, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
still
Still
have,
have
to like, okay, I have to load all my shit back
Gotta-
into my car.
back to-
I gotta go home, unpack it,
Yeah, I
put
still
it
gotta
back
go
up.
practice,
I gotta
bro.
put that shit in my garage.
Yep.
I gotta practice.
Well, dude, it's so
Gotta
funny.
wake up at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Go to
like,
work.
like
Yeah,
super funny.
exactly.
It's super funny. Like this will be the last thing because Barth here has to go to a rehearsal because he's working, man, dude.
Don't
But
want to be late
I-
for that work.
I remember doing the same thing to Bruno Major when I was like 23 when we went to that Bruno Major show, and I told him, I was like, I just wrote and released my own album, I mixed the whole thing, da da da, and I was like, I just aspired to be like what you're doing one day, and he looked at me, he said, well, keep doing it because it sounds like you're halfway there.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, dude. It's like, I was like, I was like, oh cool. And granted, I was drunk as fuck. I was just being a
We were
fucking
pretty.
asshole.
We were like the last people at the bar.
Yeah, but like that was cool to hear from him. You know, something I looked up to that. And it's like, well, keep doing it because it sounds like you're having.
Well, because like, his story is like really like relatable.
What was his story?
Like his story was like he was signed to this label in London, and he recorded like a whole album, and then this label was like, nah, didn't feel it.
Oh, they shelved it?
They shelved it. And then so he had to start again from scratch as an independent artist and started doing this Instagram campaign where he put out a song a month for a whole year.
Yeah.
And like 9 of those songs blew the fuck up. Like,
Wow.
and like put him where he is today.
Yeah.
Because he's incredible. And
Yeah,
but
he
to
was-
hear that story of someone that dope and like going through the whole trouble of being on the record label, recording the album, and just having him shelve it.
Yeah.
And then picking up the pieces of whatever where that left him.
Yeah.
And then doing this thing independent, and now owning all of his masters, and being an independent artist and seeing the success that he has gotten is inspiring.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's ridiculous. All right, man. Well, we're gonna end this thing. I think we're about an hour or so in. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps so much. We gotta do it. Subscribe.
Today was a serious pod.
It was a serious pod. Admin Newsdraw on Instagram and at Alpine Idol on.
Alpine Idol.
Heck yeah.
Yep,
check
and
it out.
that'll be in the description there at Bandgrin on Instagram, at the unofficial Barth on Instagram, at Joey and on Instagram. I'm taking a break from making music, but when we're back, it's gonna be dope. Thank you all so much. This is Late Forward Podcast, number 1 podcast in the world. We love everybody who watched. And only facts, dude. And comment,
Only
say
facts,
something.
only
subscribe.
Only
Only
fans.
feet, yeah,
Only
only
feet.
fans.
Only feet.
At Joey.
He wasn't there for that.
At Joey Ennie on
We'll fill you in, man. We'll fill you in.
but we love you guys. This is the new studio. You'll be
Peace.
seeing a lot more of us. We love y'all. This is Late Forward Podcast.
Only feet.
We out.